Dawkins at some point said something like, I don't care about these stories. I care about the kind of science and the kind of prediction that can help us land, a spaceship on the moon.
Yeah,
and I was like,
know, I missed an opportunity.
And I was like, I care more about why the hell would we want to land a spaceship on the moon? Like, why would humans do that? That's more interesting to me, or more important than the fact that we're capable of doing it.
Well, it's also, there's two things there that are interesting. The first is, well, we landed on the moon, and for Dawkins, the fact that that's remarkable is self-evident. It's like, for a psychologist, it's like, that's not self-evident, buddy. There's lots of things we could have done and had been doing for a very long period of time before we landed on the moon. So it's something like Star Trek. Right?
Yeah.
To boldly go where no one has gone before.
Yeah, it's the mariner's journey. It's the mariner's story.
Yeah,
you have all these stories, ancient stories, the story of Ulysses or the story of St. Brendan, who goes out into the ocean and, goes in a land that nobody has been before. These are the stories that we care about. The idea of going out
and they plant a flag.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we did on the moon. And
That's
the flag,
right.
that's the staff of Moses.
Yeah.
It signifies the new center, right?
Yeah,
the center of identity.
It's the joining of something with identity. That's why we plant flags or crosses. When the explorers would encounter new lands, they would plant a vertical pole to say, this is an identity.
Center of
this
the
is a
world.
new center. Yeah, it's a tree, it's a pole, it's a marker, just like a street
Jack
marker.
of the Beanstalk.
Yeah, exactly. It's an identity. That's what it is.
In their conversation, Jordan Peterson and Jonathan Pageau explore the deeper meaning behind human actions like landing on the moon or planting flags in new territories. Pageau's statement, "It's an identity," captures the idea that these acts are more than just physical accomplishments. They're profound expressions of who we are as humans. Peterson connects these endeavors to archetypal stories, emphasizing our innate drive to explore and claim the unknown. Pageau adds that planting a flag symbolizes more than ownership. It's a way of integrating new realms into our shared human story, uniting us with the world and reinforcing our identity. The statement, "It's an identity," speaks to the profound symbolic nature of human endeavors like exploration and the act of planting flags in new territories. These acts are not just about physical accomplishments. They are deeply tied to how we define and express ourselves, both individually and collectively. When we plant a flag or establish a vertical axis, we're creating a connection between realms, the known and the unknown, the earthly and the transcendent. This symbolic gesture integrates new spaces into our conceptual world, transforming the unfamiliar into something meaningful and connected to our story. Exploration, then, is more than a quest for knowledge. It's a process of becoming. It reflects our intrinsic need to establish a center, a point of orientation that ties the unknown into the fabric of our identity. This dynamic process mirrors our psychological growth as we confront chaos and bring it into order, expanding our senses of self. By marking new realms, we not only declare we are here, but we also connect ourselves to the greater cosmos, uniting our identity with the spaces we explore. Pageau's insight reveals that identity is not static. It evolves as we journey into the unknown and weave new stories into our collective narrative.
It's also true at every single level. Once you start to see that every category is a meta-category, that every category is an agglomeration of parts towards a purpose, then you realize that all categories in some ways transcend its parts. It transcends its elements. And so they all are moving towards this transcendence.
Because they're related to something higher.
Yeah, they keep pushing up higher.
Pageau and Peterson delve into the fascinating idea that every category we use to understand the world functions as a meta-category, which is a higher level grouping that provides context and meaning to its subcategories. These categories are not static or isolated, but dynamic systems where individual parts come together to serve a shared purpose. This purposeful unity transcends the individual components, creating something greater than the sum of its parts. For example, a car is more than just an engine, wheels, or seats. It's a means of transportation, a purpose that arises only when all its elements work in harmony. Their discussion highlights the hierarchical structure of knowledge where categories nest within larger frameworks, each level building towards greater complexity and abstraction. And this progression reflects the idea that things are organized with intention, each part contributing to a bigger picture or purpose. These layers ultimately point to universal or transcendent principles that give rise to meaning. Whether seen through a practical lens or interpreted as a spiritual journey, this movement towards higher levels of understanding underscores the interconnectedness of reality, suggesting that everything we perceive is a part of a larger purpose-driven system. Their conversation reframes our understanding of categories as dynamic, purpose-filled systems that connect to something beyond themselves. Recognizing this interconnectedness allows us to see reality as a holistic and meaningful structure where each part plays a role in the ascent towards transcendent truths. These ideas from Peterson and Pageau challenges us to think deeply about the meaning behind our actions and how they connect to who we are. Whether it's exploring new frontiers, planning a flag, or understanding the purpose behind categories, their conversation reminds us that everything we do is a part of a larger story, a story of identity, purpose, and connection. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and if you enjoy this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time.